Hello, this is David O'Brien.
And this is Andy Merrifield.
And this is our commentary for our album, Robotica. I always thought the opening sounded a bit like Adagio for strings. Was that what you were trying to do there, Andy?
Yeah. No, but it's just the middle eight sort of put at the beginning.
Yeah, but I always think it sounds a bit like Adagio. It's not that awful remix thing that they did.
I quite like that. Who did that? That's William Orbit, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I have heard the original.
Oh no.
Isn't it funny when
it's got a beat behind it though, the album.
Yeah, I suppose. Anyway, this is the first song we wrote for this album.
This is like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, this bit, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it not? Oh, I thought it was.
Maybe. But the origins of this song is that I was obsessed with Kraftwerk, and I wanted to write a Kraftwerk song. And I had this idea of robots and watching Fritz Lang's Metropolis and stuff. And I think I just kept on talking to you all the time about it until you got sick of it.
You did. You kept saying the word Robotica lots of times. And initially, this whole track was just going to be like a clunky sound.
It was just a boom, boom, just this, no chords, just...
It was a bit disturbing.
Yeah, it got on your nerves, and so it was nearly scrapped, I think. And
it's the bit in the middle. We'll tell you the bit in the middle. I think the main bit.
But then I think we went back to the drawing board on it, and I was listening to Propaganda's P Machinery, which is a song from the 80s, and
you recognise this bit, don't you?
What's this bit?
Nick like the model.
Oh, it's the model, Kraftwerk. Yeah. We nick all our ideas.
This was the bit mainly. This was basically the whole song was like that.
Really?
And then we had this bit had nice chords in, and that was that's when we could actually record this song.
Yeah, that was when we thought, oh, there's something here. And I remember I had my computer out and I was typing out the lyrics as you were trying to put it together. So we kind of, it's one of the few songs where the song kind of developed, didn't it? And the writing and the recording at the same time, I thought.
I think we had several sessions where I wanted to give up on it, and then we sort of came back and added bits, and it turned into a proper song. We got some movements.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't intended to be a 7-minute epic. It was originally a 4-minute pop song. But
looks like it's recording, isn't it? Let's just carry on.
Yeah. Sorry, we're not sure if this is recorded or not, but I hope it is. Otherwise, it's going to be a waste of time. But no, yeah. I like the harmonies and stuff. It was like a few of the songs where we kept going back to it and adding bits to it, didn't we? Like backing vocals and stuff. I tried to add more to it. I like this.
I do like it now.
This is from Propaganda's P Machinery. I nicked this bit.
No, I did this bit myself. It was
like, no.
This is the Twilight Zone, isn't it? I copied the Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah. The machine.
Oh, that bit. Oh yeah.
This is great, this bit. I think it's at this point where it was really coming together. We've performed this live once, where it's gone down well. And
I think people like the Sweet Dreams bit.
Yeah, we realised Sweet Dreams Eurythmics, you can sing it over it. And so we had the legendary artist formerly known as Claire Parry to be there, and she sang it, the Sweet Dreams over it. And you can actually see a YouTube clip of that. So if you want to look at that, you can.
I like these sort of words about hiding things and stuff.
You wrote this bit?
I think I did, yeah.
All the faces and places and traces.
I didn't like the whole bit, but...
No, I think this... I just remember you throwing lots of lines at me and me typing them out straight away, and... Yeah, it was good.
It sounds like a sort of 80s computer game.
Yeah, it's very 80s. It's interesting how these ideas develop, because this was a song that really did develop. And it was just this 5-minute song, and I ended up doing a kind of Spice Girls ending.
Yeah, I never saw that.
No, the lyric give it, find it, leave it. That's a bit. Who do you think you are?
I would think less words when I have things like that.
Yeah.
That's why it was meta. I took lots of them.
Yeah, but Alright. So here it is. It's a bit Madonna as well, I suppose. I'm not sure about it now in hindsight.
I think it's Robotica. The chorus of Robotica is Madonna, and then this is Mel C now, isn't it?
Oh, this is the Mel C bit, yeah. Oh, and now here. Yeah, and we just nick all our ideas. This was the thing you just had at the end of the track, didn't you?
Yeah.
And you said, oh, and then I said, oh, we could somehow put that at the end.
And then we just tacked it on in there. I wanted to change the key of it to make it fit properly, and then we realised, oh, it just kind of works as a different key thing, so just kept it as it was.
And it makes it sound like it's you've gone into a different song.
Mm.
And this spoken bit, I kept on thinking of Divine Comedy, Certainty of Chance.
Yeah.
So, and it could have sounded a bit pretentious, and it probably does, but it didn't sound as bad as I thought it would. And here now we've got a kind of musical round, which worked well with the girls, Joe and artist formerly known as Claire Parry, in the gig, because they sang the other bits.
Tough cup of people.
But for this, we just used my vocals for all of it, really.
I don't know, people probably don't realise this, but they're not actually a real string quartet we use there.
No.
I synthesised that.
Yeah. But you do a harmony on it as well.
Do I?
Like, it's a lot.
What's it about? It's a Christmas. Did Claire would sing this?
Yeah, she would sing that. She Claire. And then it would go back to, and it would just be loads. The whole idea. So the way I kind of broke it up in the mix was trying to create the stereo effect, so you hear more of one vocal in one speaker, then you do in another.
Like it's like a musical, you hear the new thing.
Yeah. But it all kind of merged together. We did that quite a bit with some of the songs in this album. Went back to it on other tracks.
It's not serious album, isn't it?
Yeah. But the whole point is that it goes back to the beginning, because the last few lines are a bit like the opening lines of the whole song. So the whole idea of it is about someone waking up from the machine and doing something different and realising they can't really escape from it. And so they end up back at the beginning. Now, this song, That Sinking Feeling, quite an old song I remember I wrote, originally for a different album. Isn't that right, Andy?
Well, we started recording Robotica at the same time as this other album, didn't we?
No, I wrote it originally. It was called The Sinking Feeling of Kim Novak.
It was supposed to be a last-minute addition to
Yeah, because I realised on the album, The Novelty Notion of Kim Novak, there wasn't enough of me at the end. So I thought the best thing to do was to write another song. And Andy said, no, that's it. No.
That's enough.
That's enough.
Although I do prefer the lyric, the sinking feeling of Kim Novak to When You Panic is a bit...
It was inspired by Gorilla's Feel Good Inc., the original idea, and
so you can place a date there.
Yeah, and it just developed from there. Really, I think we shelved it, and then when we started to put Robotica together, we just put it out again and thought, oh, let's have another go with this. We demoed it, and it seemed to kind of work. And I think this is one of those songs that we kept going back to again. I remember we didn't just finish it straight away. We kept going back to it and chipping away.
Initially, it was kind of recorded quite quickly and in a sort of slightly boring, easy listening type style, which was all right. But it helped us put more into it. Because, like, when we sat around the piano and did it first of all, like the piano bit at the end of the chorus, that was sort of... I just thought Sinking Feeling, I remembered, subconsciously I think, remembered a song by Madness called Tiptoes, where somebody jumps off a building and you have this sort of piano-y bit, so we sort of put that in. And then there's a bit of the specials in the minutes, I think, happening.
Yeah, and the instrumental break that you added.
Yeah. So, and all that was kind of in the original first one we did, but then we made it more electro, didn't we?
Yeah. Here it is.
Yeah.
This is the... No,
it's supposed to be like special anyway. It's not quite, but
it's the sound. I don't know. You can see the kind of influences in it.
It's a little bit.
And then this is the bit that's a bit like, you know, when you have middle eights in songs, which you crowbar in. This is the middle eight that we crowbarred in.
This is Dave's "Everything She Wants" remix moment.
Which, because Wham did it once with the song where they released Everything She Wants and then they re-released it and crowbarred a middle eight in it, and that's what we've done here.
This is your favourite bit, isn't it?
I like this bit. I like the way that the vocals go here and the melody, this bit.
I remember you emphasising what chord you wanted there.
Yeah. And everyone says...
it's my favourite bit, this.
And everyone goes, oh, it's clocks! By Coldplay, I heard that a lot.
Well, actually, whenever people say things like that, although nobody's ever heard it, but there was a musical called Mary Jones and Her Bible, or Greater Than Gold it was called. It was about Mary Jones and her Bible. And there was a song called The Once There Was a Bird. Well, Lost and Found it was called. And it had a piano bit like this in it. And I always thought that Coldplay copied that.
They nicked it.
And that song, I believe, was a much better song than Clocks.
And Kraftwerk have also nicked riffs from Kraftwerk. So,
yes.
There you go.
So everyone's a plagiarist.
Yeah. But this song is all about... I always think it's about a character who's either a bit agoraphobic or a bit depressed or a bit... This whole idea of when you're in a sinking feeling mood, it's really difficult to get out of it.
It's just kind of a combination of different symptoms of mental instability, isn't it?
Which fitted into the concept of the album, because this character of the album cannot escape from the Robotica world. And so he's trapped.
Yeah.
And this song...
I think... Sorry, I'll let you finish.
No. This song encapsulates that.
Really. I think I remember. It's probably my fault that it stayed in that state, because I think one of your lyrics. Actually, you changed the lyrics a few times, didn't you?
Yeah.
And one of your first. Yeah, you kind of have an upbeat ending to it, and I was going, well, you don't want to have a change in a song. You just want to stay in that mood.
Yeah. This is me trying to change the ending to make it a bit more happy, and we brought it back down to depression.
Yeah,
and
well, everyone can relate to that, can't they? So
it took ages to get the ending right. I think all the harmonies. I think to work out should they have too much chorus in, or I took it out.
And at the end there, where it kind of works. I think I've got a sustained fourth chord going on, and you resolve it a bit, but it kind of works.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it works though.
Yeah.
So that's Singing Feeling. One of my favourite songs from the album, I think.
Yeah, I do like that one. Although the next one's probably one of my favourites. It's lots of people's favourites, actually, isn't it?
Now, this song has got a big... It's a very weighted song. This wasn't originally going to be track 3, was it?
I don't know.
It was going to be Undefined, which ended up as a remix on Meta.
Yeah.
And the reason why we took it off is because someone we knew listened to the songs and said that Undefined and I'm Through With You, which is another song, were the weakest, so we took them off.
And we're so insecure, we just do what other people tell us to do.
Anyway, this song is quite a personal song to me. I wrote this one. Actually, I wrote the chorus years ago, because the chorus is really positive kind of feeling. But it's basically about the eulogy at my mum's funeral, which I gave 2008. And so I compact all the words together in that, and it's that really. And the chorus is I don't like these sad songs when people go on about, because there's people do songs about people who've died, and they're really miserable. But I remember in the eulogy I was trying to make it a bit positive, because I think you either can focus on the fact that they've died or focus on the life that they've had, and I think that's the kind of angle I was trying to go down, especially with the chorus, the fact that you either count the days or you do something with the days that you got, which is more positive. So it was a thin line between sadness and kind of what you do with it, because sadness is not depressive. It's just sadness, really. It's just a phase you go through, and you've got to work through it. So it's trying to be sensible.
It's about that. It's so melancholic, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's got lots of musical influences in it as well.
It has, yes.
What are they?
The influences, well, initially, I was thinking when I first started it, for Back and Track, I heard your lovely song, and I made it, I felt, like Divine Comedy's Commuter Love of Fin de Siècle, or however you pronounce that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I quite like the idea of having a song slightly slower than it should be, I felt. I don't often do that. And then also, obviously, a very obvious influence is To Face the Truth by the Pet Shop Boys,
which is off their melancholic album Behaviour, which I think we kind of used that as a kind of model.
Yes,
a little bit, I think.
And then you vocally added the influence of what's this Michael Jackson song?
Michael Jackson, Human Nature.
Yeah.
And that comes more in at the end.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you think of Michael Jackson, it's going to be all, you just think, it's going to be like that. But it really was, I was trying to sort of go for the, because there's some bits in the Human Nature song they did which are quite nice. Anyway, I nicked those.
It's nice. I like it on here. I don't like Human Nature, but I like your one. So,
And
that bit there, do. That's like Face the Truth, isn't it?
Yeah.
I basically copied that bit, but made it fit into the song.
But I think recording it was very easy. It didn't take us long, did it?
I suppose not.
This is.
Oh, this is supposed to be like Footsteps, which is probably a little known song by the Pet Shop Boys, but it's the last track on their Nightlife album, which I always liked. It sounded like a 70s soul song.
And this is sitar.
By the Stylistics or something.
And I like that. You don't expect that little bit in the end.
Yeah.
But I also think the intro sounds a bit Björk.
Yeah.
And I quite like that as well. So there's a lot of different musical influences in there. And yeah, it all came together quite nicely, I think. You just worked on the backing track, and then I worked with that and did all the vocals. I think I recorded the vocal. You were out for the day, and I come over to visit and recorded the vocals because I thought, because it's quite a personal song, it'd been easier for me to just sort of do it on my own, really.
You can tell you sing it in a personal way, don't you? So it's all quite,
Yeah.
You get quite upset at the end.
Well, I was trying to. It sounds a bit cynical now, but no.
I'm not cynical.
No, but it does, because I was trying to capture. Like at the end of a Michael Jackson ballad, when he shows that. I think one of his songs. Which one is it? Oh, it's off the wall.
You're talking about She's Out of My Life.
She's Out of My Life. That's it.
Yeah, it's more emotional than that.
Yeah,
but you're actually talking about something that happened to you.
But I was trying to. It was that idea at the end, and so I thought I'd stop singing it and start feeling it more in the last few lines.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be cynical.
No, it's all right.
I wasn't being cynical. I was trying to address the issue of it being emotional.
But the other good thing about this ending is that John, a friend of mine, spotted what we were trying to do with the ending, because slowly all the instruments starts moving out of the track, and that the idea of that. And he said to me, it's like, because he was at the funeral. It's like, when you're at a funeral and then people start slowly walking away one by one. And it was like that, and he could see that, and I was really chuffed with that, because I think that's what I was trying to create. So there you go.
I wanted a proper ending on this, and I hope you didn't mind having that nice bit.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
And now, you always seem to channel your life into whatever songs we do, don't you? Do you want to talk about the personal experience, or should we just talk about we'll talk about the fun? Talk about Can't Get You Out of My Head instead.
No, I was thinking
I'm
more.
going to make you a cup of tea. I'll be back in a second.
I was thinking more New Order Technique album. The opening track on Technique album, New Order, which is one of the best albums they've ever done. It's called Fine Time. Was it Fine Line? No, Fine Time. And it's a semi-instrumental track, and I wanted to create that kind of semi-instrumental track with a bit of vocal in it, and I think it fitted in the album to create a song that was a bit more experimental with vocals and with music that didn't just have verse, chorus, and that became Panic Attack.
And this started with the first track I ever recorded on my keyboard. Because I was just experimenting, and then you just end up using it, and I didn't really. It's got like 2 chords in it, really.
Yeah. And I said, we could do something with that.
And so we just looped it and pressed a few buttons on the keyboard. And
it wasn't quite like that. But we pressed.
That's how they did Blue Monday, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's a bit in it when he goes, you got those the manic beat, and I thought that was quite nice, because I kept on thinking of the Madness video, Cardiac Arrest, when someone's having a heart attack on a bus, and this idea of someone going through a kind of panic attack experience where on the outside they're kind of all palpitations and having it all, but inside it's all quite easy and gentle, so the vocals are quite drifty and dreamy, because you kind of go into an out-of-body experience, but your whole body's kind of cracking up.
I think you dictated the format of this based upon, I think it's probably entirely stolen from the format of Can't Get Out of My Head, or maybe it's influenced by it. I think you said you wanted that sort of...
Yes, probably. Yeah, I probably nicked.
Well, not like the beginning where you've got like...
half a chorus.
You haven't got a whole verse chorus thing going on. You've got like... La, la, la,
yeah. And then it goes into it.
And I like the pauses. I like the fact that I always feel at the end of this song, mind you, you can talk about it at the end, but it's kind of, you feel like you sort of easing into it, and you're actually really enjoying the panic attack part of you.
Yeah. It's a really experimental, strange song, I think, but I quite like it. It fits well on the album.
We do tend to address real life issues in a sort of slightly camp way, don't we?
but it's quite sincere. I think it's quite sincere.
Well, it's written from.
We mentioned the recession. This was at the beginning. I wrote this at the beginning. The lyrics when the recession had just kicked off, and all the stuff with my mum had happened as well.
It's never gone away.
And it was just all. It was the beginning of the dark era, really, and so panic attacks could quite easily sort of come when you feel like your whole life is kind of caving in, and that's what this song became, really. And in the concept of the album, it kind of fits with this whole idea of someone trying to escape from the Robotica world. I thought
this next bit, I quite like this. It's quite simple. It's very anticlimactic chord sequence. Kind of like just sinking, just down. You're back again.
Back into sinking. And then it goes into Giorgio Moroder.
I think that chord sequence is just going down in whole tones, one at a time. So that's quite. If you want to do that, it creates sort of quite creepy effect. I always think like on the piano, if you do that, I'll just quickly do that.
He's going to play it.
Quickly do that for you on the piano.
Right.
If you do,
I'll just move it over.
They sound quite. They can sound quite.
Disturbing. You had a live performance there. That's all happening in this commentary. So there you go. Oh yes, please. Sorry, Andy's just gone to make a cup of tea. I'll keep talking. So anyway, this ending was quite good because Andy then starts doing this piano bit in it, which I always thought was a bit madness. Did you take that for madness? The ending, this. Da-ding, da-ding, da-ding,
yeah, probably. It's kind of that end sort of
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
But I always think of madness as kind of a little bit of madness in it. And what's funny is that I'm going higher and higher and higher and higher, and then it kind of stops. And once again, like a lot of our songs, we go back to the beginning. I'm not going to sing La 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 over it. No, it stands on its own. It's all on one chord. It's got its own tune. Someone said that this was one of the weaker songs on the album. I disagree. I think it's quite. It's not really. It's got a great ending though. It's a great ending.
It's a bit disturbing. If you have it up loud, then you might be disturbed by that.
You got that ha 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 bit. Oh, this song. Now this was originally recorded years ago, and it was going to be on Songs That Spring to Mind. It was written at the same time as the song Single, and it was down to be fitted in, and the demo of it was very much like that. It was influenced by a song which I can't remember the title of, and I can't remember the artist, so that doesn't help, but it was sung in French, and it was a really nice feel to it, and so we took that, and we explored that idea into the song. It hasn't got a chorus, it's all verses, but that kind of verses are a bit like a chorus, really. And it's probably the first positive song on the album. Oh, Andy's coming back now. So it's all about trying to do something and wanting to achieve things. Like, I want to write a book, I want to write a song, I want to change the world, feed the world, that kind of thing.
Also, this started off again. Did you say we recorded this at the same time as That Sinking Feeling initially?
Yeah. I'm just going to blow my nose.
And the original version of the song was easy listening style again. And it was quite easily changed into something more interesting by that's nice by just changing a few sounds. So some of these sounds were like plinky, synthesized. What do you call those things? Plucked strings, pizzicato strings. But we changed it to like a human league synth sound, and hey presto, it's a proper electro classic.
Yeah, I really like this song. And then it goes into Ain't No Mountain High Enough in the middle.
Yeah, and when we went electro, we wanted to make it more minimal, and then with the middle bit, it just didn't work minimal, so we had to go basically back to the original arrangement for that bit. And
yeah, it was one of those ones we just went back to the original, didn't we?
And what you really wanted is, obviously, if we had money and things, you'd get a whole orchestra to play this bit.
Yeah, you need a big, especially
and they'd only play in that bit, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
And all the string bit as well.
And you'd have a big choir coming in, a big gospel choir for the backing vocals coming up. On this bit, you'd have about 100 voices going. But we haven't got 100 voices, it's just all me. And here would be the big orchestra.
Yeah.
And they would only play for this bit.
Yeah. Interesting. So just listen to this bit.
It's great.
This
Oh.
the strings in it as well. Obviously, another homage was to Pulp's "Something Changed."
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yes.
Yes.
Which is a great song.
Obviously, it's
Underrated.
just a little bit of a nod to it rather than the steel. I think that's the way I view it.
Yeah. We like little nods to other people's music that we like.
Slightly different chords here.
And this is a bit. These sounds are a bit like the closest song I think we've got to this is "A Thin Line Between Love and Crime," which was on the Novelty Notion of King Novak, which everyone liked. The whole kind of sound where it's all verses all the way through it, and this is probably the closest song.
It's one of the
Is that one really?
It's one of I always think with a song, it needs to have a verse, chorus, double chorus, middle eight, last chorus. But I always think these sort of songs aren't my favourite ones to do. But then when you hear them as an album, they work really well. And I'd like to. I have to bother writing songs about them these days, but it'd be nice to sort of think more abstractly with songs, which I really like this one, but I wouldn't have written it. I don't think because I wouldn't.
Well, you didn't.
Pursue. But I mean, I didn't. But
I'm joking.
But I wouldn't pursue with a song that was. No, I don't know if I would. But,
no, yeah, I know what you mean. It's a kind of it's a song that's like it wouldn't. But then
not traditional verse.
No.
Verse, chorus, middle eight.
And then this bit at the end. I thought, how are we going to end it? And I just thought, let's go Club Tropicana.
Oh yeah.
And have all the music fading out, and then all you get left are the vocals.
That's what you should always do. If you're losing, if you're not sure what to do in a song, go Club Tropicana.
And you got that kind of nice kind of feeling to it. And it works quite well in the centre. This is kind of the centre of the album, though, so it's good to have a positive song that's a bit more warm and cosy, I think.
It brings out your wonderful vocals, isn't it?
And you got that kind of Sunday evening with the cocoa.
I think you do very good. I like it when you sing sort of like this because you're very good at doing. You can sing it anyway, really. But I prefer easy listening music.
Yeah, not forced.
You do very good. Close harmonies and things.
Yeah. It took a while to get this right. I mean, we did a few demos, and I kept going back to it until I was quite happy with it.
You didn't re-record it. You just enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah, because I like nothing better than sitting down and just listen to myself singing.
There is an element of truth in that statement.
Ooh, now we've got this storm bit. Now here was "I'm Through With You," which we took out, and in the end we put this song in. And this.
I'm never that happy with. It's fine. I'm sure everyone loves it. This was the original bit, wasn't it? I never changed it, did I? I don't think.
This song was the third bit of Robotica, the song.
I think I did a couple of ostinato patterns, to use a musical term there, at the end of Robotica. So I did the one you now hear at the end of Robotica, and then I did this one as well, and I thought, it sounds nice, and just sort of went along with it and carried it on for a bit. So now I've just said I don't like writing things like that, and this was a meandering song as well. But anyway,
it's meandering now.
And then I sort of, the arrangement was all the nice stringy bits at the end and stuff, and then you turn it into a song.
Well, the chorus bit was from an old song that I wrote many years ago when I used to have hair on my head, called "Fools." Very, very old song, and I always liked the little tune of the chorus. And I don't know why I thought of it at this point, but I thought it kind of linked in quite well.
This bit here is.
Yeah,
because you wrote that bit. That was the bit that was put in, wasn't it?
Yeah, the chorus, which I suppose the chorus, if there is a chorus, would be that bit.
But then you also had another bit of a chorus that we cut out, didn't we? Living with comparison, something like that.
Oh, that was a different song.
No, but it was in here. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
But we cut it short.
Yeah.
I felt the mood when that bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there were 3 sections to it. Yeah. Anyway, we took it out.
That's a bit like Thin Line Between Love and Crime, where we realised the song was too long.
Thin Line Between Love, we had a whole thing. We just took it all out and just kept to the verses. But this kind of really worked. It just. I tried to sing it with a really deep voice, but it didn't quite work. And so we got a high voice and a deep voice blended together to make it sound more. Well, the whole concept of this is like the machine is creeping back in, where you're trying to. I want to write a book is positive, and then it goes back into this idea. And the song title is not actually mentioned in the song.
What is the song title?
It's called The Hour of Lead, and it's from the poem After Great Pain, which is an Emily Dickinson poem. And the whole idea of that poem is all about dealing with loss or absence, and going through the whole process takes some time, and that's kind of could be labelled as the hour of lead, but you will get over it. And in some ways, this album does that, I think. So it kind of matched it.
If it was if we're going on Gilbert and Sullivan titles, it would be called. I always think it's like called Patterns Reversing.
Patterns Reversing.
Because if you think of a Gilbert and Sullivan song, they're kind of just called by the first line of the song. So normally.
Also, the Hour of Lead. I kept on thinking Metropolis because there's a big clock as well in there. Metropolis, so kind of linked.
Welsh epic.
And you've got the Robotica melody coming back in at the end. So it's very conceptual, this one, I thought, as far as linking it with other aspects of the album.
So I always think, if you want to be clever with an album, you repeat something that happened earlier.
And you put it in again.
Yeah, it's good.
And people go, oh, it's really clever. We had someone saying, oh, it's really clever how you put Robotica back in. Well, we couldn't think of another tune, so we just went back to an old one.
It is conceptual, but I always think, and I always like it as well, but it is basically, if you break it down, that's what's happening, isn't it? So.
Yeah. And it's a loop. It's like, the whole thing is like, it's a gentle, easy listening loop, which ends quite abruptly. We had a lot more of Robotica in it, we took it out, didn't we?
Yes. You're rewarding your audience for listening, actually, aren't you, by doing that sort of thing?
Yeah. Now, this is an interesting song in the recording process, wasn't it? How did we start approaching this one, Andy?
Well, you'd written a song that was kind of a gospel influence number. I think that was based on another track off the CD that you were talking about earlier.
No, it was nicked from a Super Furry Animals song.
Oh, okay. But the way we recorded it initially was kind of slow, sort of gospelly sound. At the time, I thought again, it wasn't anything.
Well, we recorded it.
Yeah.
We did a whole proper version of it, and it was about 6 minutes long. We recorded the whole thing, created the whole vocal arrangement and backing tracked a lot. And then I loved it, and then I played it to some people, and their reaction was very much,
I didn't really like it. But I mean, in that style.
Yeah.
And it was. I don't know. There was just something not quite right about it.
It was a bit forced. I think because we didn't have a big band to do it. We didn't have a big gospel choir. We didn't have that. We couldn't create that.
I still felt. I don't know. I mean, it's good. It's a well structured song, but I just felt it was a bit. I think. But anyway, when we just suddenly with this, I think I just perversely decided to do it in this style.
We revisited it because by this time we knew how the album wanted to sound like. And so we thought, let's go back to this song and see if we can make it like the rest of the album. And the big influence for this was Human League's Dare album. And kind of took elements of that into this song. And Fraser Chorus as well, which is a band that doesn't exist anymore.
I think where did Fraser Chorus come in?
I think that in my head it was in the vocals when I was trying to... it's very understated, kind of.
I like understated.
So I was trying to...
But I think it's quite strange this because the original song is completely different to this style, but somehow it really works in this very minimal electro. I'm saying electro, I don't know if that's the proper word, but early synth sound.
But it's like there's loads of backing vocals in it, and then in this there's two. There's two backing vocals, and that's it.
But it's still got
nice.
Warmth to it, and I think this soul doesn't just come from being soul-y, does it? It comes from within.
Yeah. I think electronic music is not always cold. People always think it's cold.
There's nice chords.
There's soul in it, and this song really does have that.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So anyway, so this bit of the album is this song is basically about being trapped in a kind of where you've got loads of ideas, but you just can't think of them anymore because you're kind of exhausted, and so it's this whole idea of your life's kind of stopped, or do you just restart the button and start again when things kind of crash? And it happened, things happen when you've got a route of where you think you're going to go in life, and then suddenly it all falls apart, and so you think, well, where else am I going to go now? Just jump to another track on the train journey.
I don't think I ever think about where I'm going.
Well, maybe just me then.
Other people do, don't they?
And start over again is mentioned in this, and that comes back a bit later in the last song.
I'll try not to.
So it's this whole idea of retreading and kind of readjusting, but it takes time and effort to do that. And actually, you need to be quite brave, I think.
Didn't you have a pad in your room saying writer's block on it?
It's on the desk in school now. So
Was that before or after the song?
that was it was a good title for song, and I thought I could take that and use it. I like this ending.
No, I do.
It's very uneasy.
I quite like the beginnings and endings on this album. A couple of them. One like this, where you're going, we've done the song, which is minimal. What should we do for the intro? And then we just think, we'll just put a sound on it. It just works. It's just fine.
And in some ways, it's a good introduction to the next song,
Yes.
which is an interesting.
I love this one.
It kind of helped meta the next song. We'll start talking about the next song now already, might as well. Here it is. Now, this was originally a mournful piano ballad which I wrote, and I kept constantly playing all the time, and Andy was trying to ignore it.
It's quite hard. As is Dave's piano playing style.
And so we eventually went back to it. I'd really thought through the chords, the melody, everything on it, and because we were trying to react to original versions of songs where, like, Writer's Block was very gospel, so we made it electronic and minimal. We thought for this one, let's not make it a piano ballad, let's make it pop. And it works.
I did. I think, yes, that's a lesson for everybody there. If you want to make something interesting, you take two possibly seemingly incongruous styles and put them together, and you can come up with something interesting, I think.
And in the middle of recording this, I was watching a documentary on the Mamas and Papas. And so the second verse was inspired by California Dreamin'.
Yeah.
Which is here. The whole idea of breaking vocals up into separate bits and having echoes and all sorts.
And the overall song, I feel, is definitely influenced by Xenomania. Particularly their work with Girls Aloud, I would say.
Yeah, it's got that kind of Girls Aloud feel to it.
Fresh, spiky feel.
Very pop.
I love them, and I like Calvin Harris as well. I like anything where you can kind of all the spiky bits go together. Yeah, all the spiky bits go together, and they create a good whole. But you can still hear all the spiky bits. And also kind of a little bit like, although I don't really like that song, but a little bit like Robert Miles with the piano bits as well.
Yeah, I suppose.
But it kind of works on there.
And I made it a bit Bjorky with the you weren't sure of that, but when we did the 12-inch mix, you really...
It's all over it.
We really kind of...
I changed the pitch, I did it a million times.
Yeah, this was actually a good song into Meta, because this was the first song we recorded, we remixed for Meta, and it kind of was the way in to the sound that we created with that album. But this is basically about a scene from the film Battleship Potemkin.
We've not said this yet.
No, we've not. It's about a shooting on the steps. Very famous scene in cinematic film. It's about that, basically.
Is there a video on YouTube of that intercut with the...
No, you did do one. It was a bit horrific, though. With a pop song, to have lots of people screaming and getting shot and dying and falling over. Especially with children involved.
So it's not on YouTube?
No, I think you took it off.
Okay.
We want to... I think it's a bit too disturbing for this style.
So it becomes more abstract and you don't see the images, I suppose.
But yeah, and A People's Tragedy was the title of a Russian Revolution book I had. So I didn't finish reading it, like a lot of things. But I've still got it somewhere. But it's that. Anyway, the ending. I just had this strange idea of going back to I want to write a book.
Well, so this is a nice little lead into this reprise of
Why did we want to go back into I want to write a book?
Well, because initially this was on the end of I want to write a book. I think this came in after your Club Tropicana bit.
Oh yes, it was a 9-minute song,
but it was a step too far. So, but I think what you do is you split the song in half and put it later on, and then it's a reprise, and it makes it more of a. Again, you repeat something in a different way at the end, or later on, and it makes it more of a whole, then, doesn't it? It's good.
So this is a reprise, and it's mostly instrumental, just to really get that kind of sound of all the electronic bits really come out here. I like this song.
I do as well. It's kind of obviously Behaviour is one of my favourite albums ever. It's probably one of yours as well. But so there's definitely an influence here of Behaviour.
You need a wah-wah guitar. A friend had said on when he listened to the album, he needs a wah-wah guitar in the background.
It's a bit like Being Boring.
Yeah,
I'd say, but not There's something else there as well. I can't remember what, but yeah, I do like it, and I like the little piano bit at the end. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I do sometimes think we faded it too early, but no. Then I changed my mind. I think it's you don't wanna.
I think the reason it faded so early is because that's what I'd recorded, and so you know.
I thought,
I think it probably goes right to the very last minute that we could probably get to
yeah.
without re-recording it.
And I wrote some words, and it's now the words I wrote here are positive words. It's this whole idea of where in the past it's all about wanting to change and you're too scared to change. This is all about taking a step forward and making that change so you free yourself from this robotica world and do something different and brave and you could fall flat on your face, but it could still be okay. So that's what the words went here.
I don't like things about trying because it just means you could fail, doesn't it? So,
yeah, but which is what we highlight in the song. You could fail, but have a go anyway.
No, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah. I think that's why I don't like. I should just realise that's probably why I don't like those sort of things, because I always think if I say I'm going to try and do something, then somebody might hold me accountable, and then when I fail, it would be embarrassing.
Oh, but if you don't try, then you know you never know, do you?
No, I suppose.
And it's kind of you're not going to like the message of the last song then, because that's basically.
Oh, I like that.
Time. Again, I always think this bit coming into it is a bit Pink Floyd.
It's not telling you what to do though. It's not saying let's do something.
No.
Sorry, yeah. You think this is like Pink Floyd?
No, the end of this alarm clock coming in, this do 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 do. I always think it's like an alarm clock. It's like the whole album has been a dream.
But you know what I think it sounds like?
What?
I've probably said this before.
What does it sound like?
Who are we zooming in on here at the beginning of? This is the Sound of Music moment.
Oh, it was me thinking Pink Floyd.
It's like we're panning over the Austrian Alps.
I was thinking of more "Wish You Were Here," "Shine On You Crazy Diamond."
I was thinking of "Wish You Were Here," Judith Chalmers and Salzburg.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
I don't know what that is. That thing you're talking about. I know who Pink Floyd are.
Yeah,
did you talk about like Money? I've heard of that.
No, I'm talking about the "Wish You Were Here," "Shine On You Crazy Diamond." It's a song that goes on for a very long time, and
I think I've seen "Shine On Harvey Moon."
Anyway, this
which is nice.
This song was originally called "It's All Over Again," but it was a bit too. And so I changed it to "Start Over Again."
That's what you do. What you need to do when writing a song. Start from the deeply cynical and then work back.
And I thought it's got to end on a positive note, where the whole album has been quite heavy, tonally in certain aspects. Let's end on a positive note, and so that's what this song is really. It's all about packing your bags. And going off. I suppose there's mountains involved, and going off and starting over again. That kind of thing.
Think it's not. Yeah, I don't know. I do really like the idea of this. Obviously, I like the idea of this. It's very positive, but it's not about. It's just basically starting with a blank slate again.
Yeah. And moving on and starting again.
Yeah. There's never been a better time to start over again.
It's never, and I think for me it was quite true, because I just basically stopped my acting career and started teaching.
So what did the chorus go then? It's all over again.
No, it's the original.
Yeah.
It's all over again. It's all over again, and that was about it. And then I thought, no, that doesn't quite work, and then I changed it.
I'm not sure I ever heard it as "It's All Over Again."
Oh, right.
I remember you sang it "Start Over Again" on the phone to me, and I thought that's a really good song.
Oh, well, maybe it changed. Maybe it changed then.
And then when we first recorded it, I was just thinking, this is such a obviously good song, and then it just didn't work, did it?
Oh yeah, we did an original version of it. I forgot that. Dreadful version. It just didn't work.
But I made it slightly, dare I say, cooler sounding. Not really cool for us, but we don't do cool, do we? But it's a bit more funky sounding.
More electronic.
Yes, a bit Stevie in places.
Yeah, Stevie Wonder. And it just seemed to work. It was a bit. I think it was a bit sloppy. The other version. It was a bit messy, but this version was a lot more organised.
Yeah. I like having little twiddly bits here and there.
And then obviously we thought it needs a female positive voice coming in as well, and so we got Jo, and we asked Jo to come over one day, and she came over to record it.
It's a bit like, I just think like she's the Mother Mary figure in it.
Yeah, because you got that gospel edge to it as well.
And that's a similar thing. She's saying "Let It Be," and you're saying it's kind of a word. It's a comforting song, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's not the same idea, but it's. It's like saying,
But she's the
it's
voice.
okay. Everything, you can just start again.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to fall apart. Like, you're not going to have another panic. If you're going to have a panic attack, look, it's okay. It's the voice of calm. Joe's the voice of calm that comes in.
I don't think repetition in this sort of song. Repetition is really good. You need to be if you need to start all over again. You need someone to tell you several times.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't listen really. So it's good. Yeah.
It's reassuring ending.
That nice middle.
It's got good. And I think it lifts the song the middle bit. This is quite nice.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe doing the ad lib here. It's quite nice. And I love this little bit you added, the rap kind of beatbox.
We got in. No, it's just.
No, we didn't. No, we just got a
sound
sample.
on the keyboard.
It was a sample.
Yeah. It sounds good.
Yeah,
This reminds me a little bit of Captain and Tennille sort of. Bit. Do you know that bit?
No.
Do you know that? Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't know who that is.
Keep us together.
No, I don't know it.
No, it's a darker song.
No, I don't know.
It sounds a little bit like that.
Oh,
anyway.
okay. The song I don't know.
Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain.
No, I don't
I'll
know.
play it to you later on.
It's okay. You don't have to.
The lovely Joe Pierce.
The lovely Joe Pierce coming in there.
She always does marvellously. She just comes in and does it really quickly.
Very warmth for vocal there.
Yeah.
And what was nice is that before we actually
It's not as good as, I'll tell you what, not as good as Come Home With You. She had a better person to duet with on that one.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Not me then. But can I just say about this as well? The ending, we kind of did a bit of an improvised vocal thing with the piano. So Joe started to do some stuff, and I started to do some stuff. And we actually sat down before we recorded it and worked out what bits we would both sing. So it was very organised, I thought, this one.
You usually just get up and you don't really know what's going to come out until you start, do you?
Yeah, but it was like...
No.
But this one was more meticulously organised, where I would do a bit like here, then Joe does a bit. I do a bit, and then we kind of... And then the ending as well, when she kind of...
I think she came up with the start over,
yeah.
And she actually sang that for about 4 minutes or something.
Yeah.
It's not looped.
It's not looped.
No.
We spend all our time repeating it again and again and again, trying to make it sound exactly like the last time we sang it.
Do you know what just reminded me of?
We should have looped it.
Party in My Head, where we weren't quite sure how to use vocal effects in those days, so you just did them yourself live.
She went party, head,
party. That's not an echo effect. If you ever hear that song, it's Dave singing.
Party.
Singing all those bits.
And moving away from the microphone to make it sound like it's fading out.
So you can do all these things, people.
I always like...
You don't need money to do recording.
What's nice about this ending is I always think it's someone with their backpack walking off into the sunset. And it's right... Or sunrise. No, not sunset.
You said the word again.
Sunrise. Backpack.
Yeah. It's a Welsh thing, that is.
Is it?
Pronounce. Can you say? You know that wafer biscuit that you get? It's got 4 bits. How do you say that?
Wafer.
No, the red. What do you call the red thing with four? It's got. You have a break. Have a.
Kit Kat.
Oh, you want to use? Well, you're pronouncing it not the way. How would a Welsh person normally say it?
Kit Kat.
They would say Kit Kat.
Kit Kat. What a backpack.
Backpack.
Anyway, backpack.
Oh, sorry.
We should end now, I think. It's at the end. Thank you very much for holding on into this commentary. It's been nice, and if you've got to the end, then I think you deserve a badge or sticker saying I've completed listening to the commentary of Worthless Idols Robotica.
Oh, I just realised something.
What?
Just before we go quickly, I was going to do a dystopian ending to this, wasn't I?
Oh, yeah! We were going to, as if the Robotica I came back in and made it all clunky.
And I was going to say that this was all a dream, and basically the dystopian nightmare was real, and it was a nuclear holocaust.
I'm so glad we didn't do that.
No. It's a happy end, that's what we like.
Yeah, because I think what you need is a happy ending.
That wouldn't have fitted on this album.
No, wouldn't have that song, but...
yes.
But here we go, I think that's it.
We got to the end.
Yes, we have, so...
Thank you.
Goodbye.